lights go down, nothing adds up. You've never seen numbers like this. New episode tonight at 9.
Join us November 7th for Central Texas Votes, only on News 10.
KWTX News 10 at 5 starts now.
All right, everyone, we are following a breaking news story that we have been doing for you for the last hour or so. A traffic nightmare in Waco. Southbound Interstate 35, starting at Connolly High School, is closed for at least the next 2 hours while investigators try and figure out how one 18-wheeler jumped a concrete median and then slammed into a second 18-wheeler before, you can see right there, bursting into flames. We're already being told right now at least 2 people confirmed dead at that scene. For the very latest, let's head to Gordon Collier, who is standing by live there, and also listen to News 10 at 5, our listeners on Clear Channel radio stations across Central Texas. Gordon, what's the very latest?
Well, the accident happened at about 3 o'clock this afternoon between the exits 338 and 339. Right now, the fire crews are on the scene trying to, they've been maintaining the hot spots for a while. One of these trucks had been carrying some sort of plastic, and that's been giving them fits. Every time they get it out, the wind will blow and it'll catch on fire again. But right now, we do have some heavy equipment on the scene. They're about to start the process of cleaning up this mess. Of course, the big question this afternoon is how in the world, you see this concrete barrier behind me? If you can't see it, I know you're familiar with them. They're designed to keep northbound traffic on the north side, southbound traffic on the south side. Evidently, that did not work this afternoon when that northbound 18-wheeler hit this concrete barrier, going over it right into the southbound lane of traffic. And that is a result of what happened, of just a fireball of an accident this afternoon at about 3 o'clock. Now, joining me right now is Chief John Johnston. What are they doing right now?
Right now, the crime scene techs are investigating the scene. They're trying to put the pieces back together from the Waco Police Department, and they're trying to reestablish the accident scene.
At this point, you still have no idea which one of these trucks was northbound. Is that correct?
The only thing I know is one of the trucks that was engulfed in flames was involved. That did cross the median barrier.
The 2 deceased are truck drivers.
That's correct.
And you did have one truck driver walk away from the scene.
That's correct.
And that was the truck that's about
100 yards down the road there.
Okay, wasn't seriously hurt.
No serious injuries.
Okay. Now, shortly after the accident, traffic began tying up rapidly. It was just a nightmare getting around here, and we had some accidents as a result.
We had 2 accidents. One ended up in an extrication call for us, which we transported 3 people to the hospital. The other one was a motorcycle accident on 4th Street and I-35, which is always the case when we do have an accident on interstate. Traffic becomes a big issue for us.
All right. John Johnson, thank you for your time today. So best advice, avoid this area if at all possible. They are detouring southbound traffic off of the interstate at 342B. The traffic will go along Highway 77 past Connolly High School, a loop around this scene back on the interstate. Don't know what that's adding to your drive time, but again, your best advice is to avoid this area if you can. Northbound traffic is flowing normally. Southbound traffic is at a dead standstill. Julie?
All right, Gordon Collier reporting live at the scene. Gordon, thank you. I know a lot of you out there probably planning to hit the interstate. It is a Friday. We've got UT football, Baylor football also playing in Texas Tech. For the very latest on some traffic conditions, we're now going to join Jennifer Phillips, who is joining us live by phone from Elmont. Jennifer, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Tell us what you see right now.
As I look out the door, I actually live right by High Miller Steakhouse, and traffic is to a standstill on the access road, and apparently they're backing up and getting off further back, and on our residential streets they are almost to a standstill.
Well, Jennifer, so it sounds like it's causing a nightmare even for people that just have homes there off the interstate.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us more about how you learned about this accident. I mean, at what point did you start looking out the window and noticing traffic was stacking up miles and miles away from where this happened?
Actually, at 3, I heard the sirens go off. I don't know if it was someone leaving from close out here to go up there, and then close to 3:30, they started getting really slowed up back here.
Jennifer, we're looking at pictures here, and I know you've had the opportunity by now to probably see some of these. I guess it's just kind of shocking to see that an accident like this is unfolding right here in our own backyard.
It really is.
And have you had the opportunity, Jennifer, to talk to anybody who's been on the road or who is coming off of it and kind of wheeling through the neighborhoods there?
My neighbor actually had a little bit of trouble getting in just because of all the traffic on our road. You know, we just have to wait for somebody who's nice enough to say, okay, go through.
So best advice for people that are out there right now is probably just to avoid this area altogether. Again,
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
in just off the interstate in Elmont. Jennifer Phillips, thank you so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate that, and you're just hearing it live from someone who lives right along the interstate. It's a nightmare out there, so if you think that you might need to take the interstate, you're probably going to want to find an alternate route, that is. Right now, we want to take a listen to what one witness had to say that was caught in her car just feet from where those two 18-wheelers burst into flames. We talked to Carrie Falkenstein by phone. Here's what she had to say.
So there were two 18-wheelers totally engulfed in flames, halfway on the interstate, halfway in the grass. A third one ahead of them, not on fire at all, but apparently was in the accident as well, with front passenger damage.
All right, you're hearing Carrie Falkenstein speaking with us by phone. She was caught in her vehicle just feet away from where these 18-wheelers burst into flames. Also told us by phone that she felt some shakes in her car, 6 to 7 of them, some explosions happening there. So we appreciate Carrie calling in and talking with us. Again, for the very latest information, you can always log on to our website at KWTX.com. We do have some raw video from the scene that is posted there. All you have to do, hop onto our website, KWTX.com. And just a reminder that we are breaking into all Clear Channel radio stations, so we appreciate those of you listeners who are also with us today. Feel free to log on our website for the very latest information. All right, much more on that story ahead at 6 o'clock. But right now to the story of a mountain lion that's got a lot of Morgan's Point residents on high alert. It has been spotted several times. Apparently it's prowling around town. But the city is warning residents, don't panic. At least just not yet. Robin Krill has been working on the story. She joins us now live in studio with more. Hi, Robin.
Hi, Julie. Well, it may seem hard to believe, but after several apparent sightings from citizens, the Morgan's Point police force has issued the statement saying that their city has its very own 175-pound mountain lion in its midst.
What we're trying to do is make sure the public understands there's no reason to panic. They've been around for years. It's just the first human contact that we've had with them.
While officials in Morgan's Point say that having a mountain lion in their midst is no reason to panic, they are asking residents to be vigilant as well as patient.
Don't let the small children, get out by themselves, have them supervised.
The sightings, which have occurred all around the city, are incredibly unusual because while mountain lions are common in Texas, they usually live in areas west of the Leon River, from Fort Hood up to Gatesville.
They're kind of making a comeback. We don't know really why. It might be because of the deer populations are increasing in this area, but we've started to see more and more in this area.
Also, according to officials, in recent years there has only been one fatal mountain lion attack on a human in North America.
If you get one cornered, they're dangerous. They can be quite an adversary, but mountain lions are typically nocturnal and shy. They usually avoid people. They typically move around at night, so usually they shouldn't be too much of a problem in your area. They don't actually come after people too much.
Finally, officials would like to remind the public that it is illegal as well as dangerous to discharge firearms within the city limits.
Now, some tips for those of you who live near mountain lion country include to avoid feeding the wildlife, to deer-proof your landscape, to landscape for safety, which means to remove all vegetation which can provide a possible hideout for that mountain lion, to install outdoor lighting, keep pets secure, closely supervise children, and to make lots of noise. Live in the studio, I'm Robin Creel. Julie, back to you.
All right, Robin, live in studio. Thank you, Robin. Coming up later on the Hillcrest Healthcast, we're going to talk about the importance of having a high-fiber diet. Plus, in sports, Baylor heads to Tech with a new quarterback at the helm. Matt will have more on that coming up.
And coming along in weather, there will be some changes to the weekend forecast. Many will like those changes. Some will not. Details ahead.
Before we get to Rusty, the Texas Secretary of State urging young voters, hit the polls come Election Day. We're back with much more after this.
I'm fed up with the petty partisan bickering in Washington. People ought to work together in good faith and do what's right for our country. What we need is more common sense and independence.
Principled, bipartisan, effective, unsung hero. That's what respected newspapers and the American Legion have said about Chet Edwards.
I'm Chet Edwards, and I approve this message because I work for you.
Service second to none and totally dedicated to your satisfaction. That's Marstaller Motors. Sure, we service what we sell, but we're also factory certified to do warranty work on any Dodge or Chrysler product, no matter where you purchased it. And we're also the best place for aftermarket add-ons, too, like headrest DVDs, fender flares, running boards, lip kits, and more. So no matter what you drive or where you bought it, when it comes to service, you can depend on the big M. Marstaller Motors. For over half a century, a name you know and you know you can trust.
We've aggressively used our office to protect the children in the state of Texas.
Attorney General Greg Abbott protecting Texas children. Abbott's law enforcement officers arrested over 500 sex offenders. And Abbott is collecting child support so Texas kids are safe and healthy.
We've collected more than $7 billion for the children of this state.
Greg Abbott, protecting Texas children. Abbott, protecting Texas's future.
When the lights go down, nothing adds up. You've never seen numbers like this. New episode tonight at 9.
I'm a conservative, and I make no apologies for it.
He sure doesn't. John Carter has led the fight in Congress to stop wasteful spending. It hasn't always made him the most popular guy there, but it hasn't stopped him. When John Carter started demanding that we take action to protect our borders, he was a lonely voice. Now most everyone agrees. John Carter was right from the start. John Carter, our conservative voice in Congress.
I'm Congressman John Carter, and I approve this ad.
Welcome back, everyone. The Texas Secretary of State made a visit to Killeen today to launch Project Vote. Roger Williams is starting this statewide initiative in order to teach young Texans the importance of getting to the polls. Students were given the opportunity to participate in a mock election, and Williams says it gives them a sense of just how important voting really is.
This last several months, we've really moved it forward. We've energized the program a lot, taken it to the young people, reminding them it's a patriotic duty, their precious right to vote, and send their message to Texas, to all of us in Austin. What do they want Texas to look like the next 15, 20 years?
This is the 5th year that the Secretary of State's office has conducted a statewide mock election. Just remember, for all your election coverage, make sure you log on to our website at